My name is Brandon Harris. I work for the Wikimedia Foundation, the people who bring you Wikipedia, and I am senior designer. What I talked about, the purpose of the talk was to actually have a broad conversation about communities and what it means to design for a community, and like some basic building blocks that you should know as a person who's going to, if you're going to be building a community or even managing one, and how you go about shaping them. The things you need to know, and just things to think about. And one of the basic building blocks is to understand what creates a community. And the thing that the essential core of any community is the fact that it's two people talking to each other. That's it. And in order for two people to talk to each other, they have to have a mechanism of identity. They have to have a way to at least identify each other as being a unique individual. Or the same individual that they've been having a conversation with. And so that was the basic principle: identity plus conversation equals community. The biggest challenge, I believe actually the biggest challenge is one about preventing the cultural norms, the way that people communicate with each other, is actually helping to shape those or to set those up correctly. When you define the cultural norms at the beginning, or even later, you are defining what the community is about in many ways, and how they interact with each other defines how the kinds of members that they attract and their membership makeup. If you have a community, say, that is filled, like a video game community, and it's filled with a bunch of boys who are 13 years old and they call each other names and they make fun of girls, well, then girls don't join that community, and then people wonder why. It's like, well, it's all boys. These are the kinds of things that you set up early on. If you say that it's not okay to talk like this, or it's not okay to do these things, then you can help shape the norms of a culture, and then therefore grow the community into something that might be broader. So normally, you would define your community first, your identities first, and then your community, and then you would develop your goals, and then you develop your product. I mean, this is sort of how it tends to go, and the product is a very amorphous term for something that the community creates together. Wikipedia actually did it backwards. They started with the product first, and then didn't really think about community much at all, and definitely didn't think about identity in any way until very, very late in the game. And by then, what had happened is that the cultural norms had cemented around certain processes, which means they can't be dictated. You can't change them from the outset by I don't know, changing a code of conduct or assuming that everybody has to adopt the same code of conduct. Instead, you have to start shaping them and make things easier to be nice than it is to be a jerk, for example, or something along those lines. So Wikipedia worked the opposite way, which is a lesson in and of itself, because it shows you what happens when you just don't have any control. One thing we've learned is that everyone's motivation is totally different, which actually makes developing social software really difficult, because you can target one group but you can't target the other, and if you target one group, then this other group might decide that they dislike it. People have motivations from anywhere from like altruism, where they're trying to make the world a better place for their children or their children's children, or that they want to, I know that like some medical students actually feel like it's compelled to make sure that the medical articles are better because people are actually using them to self-treat. Or I know that there are teachers who have gone in and fixed up the music articles because they know their students are going to be using them for writing papers. And then there's other people who will do something simply because it scratches an itch. I saw this thing was incomplete. I decided to make it complete. And it gave them a feeling of satisfaction to do it. Or this needs doing and no one else is going to do it. I mean, we have to fight vandals. No one else is doing it. I'm going to do it. So the motivations are across the board. I mean, it just really depends. If you do want to be part of Wikipedia, the simple answer is just start editing. I mean, it's very easy. I wouldn't say it's easy, but there's no barrier to entry there. If you want to become part of an open source movement, I mean, the quickest thing to do is to start committing code. You may want to lurk a bit first, take a look around, and see what people are working on, see what you can do, look at some bugs. Like definitely the easiest way to get involved in media wiki development is go to Bugzilla, our Bugzilla thing, look and see what needs to be done, figure out something that you can fix, and fix it.